Okay, we're gonna do something today, and I do want to put it out there that this is probably gonna be a bit intense. So if you're not in a space right now to hear some intense things and to reflect on yourself, then maybe come back to this video. But today, I want you to take a second to visualize yourself in a hospital bed with a doctor and nurses around you, and they are having a conversation to you about your health, and they are having a conversation that is pretty intense and pretty dire. Now, we don't need to get into any of the nitty-gritty details, but in that moment, you are having a realization that you took your body for granted. You are having all of these thoughts flooding over that you essentially knew that you weren't caring for your body. You knew that you weren't moving her. You knew that you were putting, caring for her on the back burner. And you were aware of that all the time, every day, but you still weren't doing anything about it. So now you're in the hospital bed, and now you're very, very aware that these circumstances are dire, that something needs to change. Now, we don't need to go further down that route, but when you have that feeling that you have right now, I want you to come out of it, because you're not there. You're not there yet, and you don't need to be there. But what you need to do is make a choice to do something different. And I come from a belief of really being positive all the time and really cheering people on and being very encouraging about every little thing that people do that is positive for themselves. And I love that quality about me, but I think sometimes what happens is I'm not stern enough and I'm not harsh enough about the realities of the situation when you don't care for yourself and when you don't take care of your body and you don't prioritize your mental health and your well-being. And I think for me right now, I'm starting to have these realizations that the world is intense, and now more than ever, we need to prioritize ourselves. We need to be as healthy as we possibly can. So I don't want your wake-up call to be in real life when you're in that room, lying in that bed with those doctors and those nurses looking over you. I want your wake-up call to be right now. I want you to understand that if you do not change anything, you are headed down that path. That is your trajectory. Like, all of the science shows it. All of the science shows how detrimental it is not to care for yourself and not to move regularly. So you don't need any of those facts because you already know them. And for many of us, they eat us alive every single day. You don't need more of those. What you need is a little jolt right now, and I'm hoping that this conversation is that jolt for you to just make a decision to do something different. Make a decision that today is your wake-up call. Today is your sign. Today you are going to do something different, and it literally starts now, because the rest of your life is in front of you, and the decisions that you make affect the path that you head on. And I know that there's a lot of things that are out of our control, but one of the things that is really in our control is our health. And you prioritizing taking care of yourself needs to come at the top of the list. And one of those things that you can do is start moving regularly. Every single day you can start moving. And this isn't to like plug anything other than whenever I have this conversation with people, they always say, I don't know how. But you do know how, because I'm telling you how. We have programs for that. We have things that you can follow that make it very easy. We have literally a program called No Excuses that starts with 15 minutes of movement. 15 minutes of movement is probably more than many of you are doing right now, and it will create a huge impact and a huge change. So if you are thinking about making the decision that this video was your wake-up call, that is the perfect place for you to start.